So we're live now.
Oh, terrific.
2025 USA Working Equitation Annual Meeting.
So
President.
Folks, we're going to just give it a few more minutes to let some other people join, and then we'll start in 2 to 5 minutes, in case you want to get that last cup of coffee or whatever. So I don't think when you're presenting, you can see who's joined, can you?
So you can't see participants when you're presenting?
No, so I have no way
Bummer.
of judging if we should just get rolling or not. You guys tell me. I will trust your judgment.
We have 45 folks that are eagerly waiting.
I'm seeing 65.
Oh, wow.
That
Well,
includes
that
us.
includes all of the panelists.
All of
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're eager too.
Right, that's true. You do look rather lovely there with your
You
makeup.
do look
hair.
stunning.
I feel frumpy now, you guys. All right, it is 12:03.
Let's go ahead and get going. And so I wish I could see all the people that are out there, but good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tracy Irway. I have no idea how many of you I've met or not met. I am very, very honored to be the president of USAWE this year. And I might be a little bit subdued because I had a very rough week and a slight tragedy on my farm. So if I seem like I'm not always excited as we do this presentation, it really has nothing to do with the organization. It's just my personal issue. This is 2025, although actually the all-member meeting is really partially about last year, what we did, and also what we are going to do. So you'll get different messages and you'll hear from the committees and whatnot within the organization about what they've done, what they are planning to do, and how good they feel about their successes, because I feel like they've all been really successful. We'll go through a few directions in the beginning, talk about, introduce all of the officers and directors, of course, and then we'll go through all the committee reports and you'll meet all the committee presenters as well. And then we only had one question, and I think that question is going to be answered within the first few slides that we have. So we'll see what happens with the Q&A if we have some time and if we can actually be brave and take in some live questions or not. And this is when my secretary goes, oh, I can't believe she just said that. So I want to, again, I want to thank you all for joining us. I think we're all pretty excited to go through this presentation and tell you what we've been up to. And because this is from last year to this year, I wanted to thank some of the people who were in chair positions or on the board that have left those positions. And they are Doreen Atkinson, Chris Blacklock, Jeannie Bond, Kelly Campbell, Stephanie Hayes, Biddy Lowry, Chris Stanko, Christine Strasburger. And if I miss someone, I so apologize, but that was the list that I came up with, and some other committee members as well. And of course, we've got new members and you'll be able to meet them today. I want to talk to you just put this slide out here because I'm sure none of you thought you were going to class today, but here we are. This organization is a pretty fabulous organization to be run by volunteers. Whoever set it up, those two organizations that came together, they did an incredible job of really putting together a solid foundation for USAWE. And I can't tell you how impressed I've been with it. And I think over the past 4 years or so, a lot of solidification of those processes and plans and whatnot have taken place. And we are just now, I think this year, ready to strike out and be a little bit more control of our destiny. And so this is the first time we put strategic planning into place. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit of how it works, because not everyone is always familiar with strategic planning. But you start off with a big goal like grow we in the USA. And then you try to figure out, well, what do we really want to do? We probably want to grow our membership. We want to focus on youth. You know, it could be a number of things. And each of those things then has a strategy. What do we do to increase membership? What do we do to focus on our youth? And then it's those things that we define. What we're going to do is what the committees do, and they do all the work. So our committees are truly the workhorses of our organization. And whenever you meet someone who's working on a committee, I hope you are super kind to them, because they are putting in many, many hours to help move this organization forward. So our goal now is create the plan, measure the committee programs, and see if they're successful. And if not, we adjust them and move on. So
Tracy,
that's.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Are you showing your screen? Are you meaning to, or not yet? I just want to make, because we are not seeing your presentation.
You haven't seen any of it?
No, that's why I'm stopping you.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah, we
I
are
see
seeing
it.
it, Amy.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not.
seeing
Okay,
it.
fair
I'm
enough.
seeing it.
I shared it
Perfect.
with everyone but you, Amy.
Okay.
There you go.
Right.
I'm sorry that you can't see it. Well, I'm going to move on, because what's important to talk about is one of the goals that we thought in our strategic planning was we want to increase membership by 25% a year. We thought that was a huge, huge number, right? Well, first of all, I want to thank Kate, because I stole all of her data and didn't give her a chance to present. So I want to thank her right off the bat and tell her that she's been fabulous. And I'm going to present her information for her, but I didn't want her to go unnoticed or unnamed. This is our membership data. And most of you probably don't know me, but I'm a data fiend. And so for me to look at anything, I want to see the data every time. So I stole Kate's data. And the first thing I want you to look at is this box in the lower left corner that says growth is steady, averaging 38%. Now, we thought if we grew 25% a year, that would be incredible. But here we're already growing 38% on average. At least we have over the past 3 years. So 25 is like, you know, nothing compared to 38, except for we have a little problem. And that is our attrition rate is exactly the same rate as what we're gaining. So our membership has stayed rather static, our membership numbers. If you look up above in the big chart, you'll see that anything in red is where we've lost a few people. And the youth numbers seem very strange. So we're going to have to dive into that, because we don't think that's a realistic view of how we need to look at our youth numbers. But you don't see a lot of growth and you don't see a lot of loss in these numbers, because, as I said, our growth is pretty equal to our attrition. So what do we need to do? Because we do want to grow. We want to focus on growing, but we need to focus on keeping our membership. So we need to fix this. And the question is, what do we do? And right off the bat, we need to slow our attrition rate. And we need to understand why members are actually not staying. Are they new members? Are they old members? Are they, what is it that's causing the loss? And dive into the numbers, in fact, for the youth to understand how better to describe our program growth and our how many youths we actually keep. Because, you know, they eventually turn into adults. So they skew the numbers when they leave and join adulthood. I think we need to carefully watch through the year that we keep our members happy, and that that we pay attention to them and pay attention to what they're asking for. And I think all of our membership needs to help us do this, because you see everyone else, you're showing with them, you're with them more than any of the directors on this board are. So as much as you can clue us in as to what's going on and why we would be losing 38%, we would like to know. So to fix it, I think that we're going to really challenge our directors and our at-large directors to help drive growth in their regions. And I know the AOs in particular, our affiliate organizations, are really the backbone of bringing people to USAWE. And so I think that the AOs need to be a really strong focus for us this year. And on top of that, I think we're also going to make even a bigger effort to tie the committee work together so that one committee is helping support another committee to help both support membership growth. And then keep doing some data mining. And the most important thing is to pay attention to our member concerns. Pay attention to our member concerns. So if you hear of something, let one of us know. There's plenty of emails that you can access to tell us what's going on. From my perspective, 2025 is the year we put new programs together and really analyze the data to be able to make our membership happier. And we won't probably see a change until 2026. So we're not going to have magic this year, but we're going to have a lot of work put together to create some magic next year. So here's what we really are talking about working on now, even though we have not quite finished our strategic plan. I think all of us, we certainly had our membership survey go out, and we combed through that membership survey like you can't believe. Sarah Barnwell put it together, and in fact, you can all see it on the website yourself. And so there are some very repetitive key things that we pulled from there that we actually are working on right now. And our goal is to increase our member enjoyment and the value of a membership in USAWE. So right off the bat, we want to focus on educational opportunities for what we're calling foundational levels, which are L1 through L5. And on top of that, improved resources for competition managers. Our competition managers are so crucial to the success of this organization, that the more we can really define what the issues are and help put together solutions for them, the more we're all going to benefit, and certainly make their lives easier, because they are just crucial for us. Included in that are the efficiencies to keep the cost of showing affordable, because this organization is really all about showing. It is. It's about being able to be on those obstacles and compete and whatnot. So we need to get inventive and make sure that our structures for shows are really reaching all the people that we think they can reach. And we want to make USAWE really attractive to new members. And that's why the L1 rule changes came through, with the whole disqualifications being removed in certain areas. The goal is, we couldn't have heard that from more people, to be honest with you. Please give us a better chance to be successful as an L1. And, you know, we always say the youth population and participation is crucial to the organization. And it isn't just our equine organization, it's across the board. So I hope we can all dive in and help this committee be successful and bring in more youths across every region. And finally, or not finally, I guess I have 3 more bullets, so I can't say finally yet, but I know our marketing team is really interested in identifying key alliances and partnerships. And we see these being from a technology as well as an educational level, and a clear and very targeted marketing program with measurable results, so that we can see if our marketing is actually driving membership growth. And finally, we're just going to keep the lights on and make the lights a little brighter internally, and continue to work on our policies and whatnot as we move forward. So one of the last things I want to talk about is our bylaws task force. And we decided that after a few years, we kept running into trouble with our bylaws, that they weren't really supportive of how the organization was running. So it's taken almost a full year to review and change those bylaws. And there were things that were grammatically unclear, things that were not helpful to the organization, and some pieces that were incomplete. And we took the bylaws in front of the board, and we have a couple of changes to make, and we're going to do another review with the board. And then as members, you can't believe how exciting these bylaws are. You're all going to want to run out immediately. As soon as we get them done, you'll have 45 days, every day with breakfast. You can read another page. It's going to be a fabulous opportunity for members. So I hope you all take it seriously. We certainly did. And then after that, we'll put them into effect. There are some significant changes in there. And it's important that you have a chance to look at them. And now I want to introduce all the fabulous people I get to work with. And they will all speak to you in just a second. But our executive committee is made up of myself, Robin Bond, who is our president-elect, Amy Perriman, who is our secretary, Lisa Nero, our treasurer, and we have two at-large directors, Amy Starr and Holly Lintz. And so I want to thank all of these women for their hard work and their dedication and their fabulous ideas. They are smart and witty, and I'm thrilled to be working with them. And now I think I hand over the reins.
Hello, everybody. We just have a couple of little tasks to take care of. We wanted to make sure that we had everybody online and working. So we're going to go ahead and take an official roll call at this moment so that we have correct minutes for the meeting.
All right, so in attendance, President Tracy Irway,
Here.
President-elect Robin Bond,
Here.
Secretary Amy Perryman, here, Treasurer Lisa Nero,
Here.
At-large Director 1 Amy Starr is unable to be here but is excused. At-large Director 2 Holly Lintz,
Here.
Region 1 Director Sarah McKenzie also is traveling and can't make, but she is excused. Region 2 Director Glenna Hoekstra.
Here.
Region 3 Director, we have a new one, Cindy Harris, sorry.
She is here. We're just fighting.
Still
with the
haven't
mic
gotten her
right now.
audio,
Yep.
okay. Region 4 Director Kiki Pantays.
Here.
Region 5 Director Sarah Barnwell.
Here.
Region 6 Director Sarah Olson. Is she coming or?
Is not here, and I believe Sarah Barnwell is presenting for her.
Okay. Okie doke. And so we'll call her excused. Region 7 Director Pat Melton.
Here.
We also have our clerical assistant and treasurer's assistant, Kathy Orr, I believe, is here. And then all of our
I'm Deborah Martin. I'm heading up the 40th
here's
anniversary.
someone in the background. They need to be muted. Chairs of our committees, and we'll meet them in a second. All right, I'm going to mute myself. Back to you, Robin.
Okay. So I wanted to just say hello and welcome everybody to our annual meeting. I'm super excited also about this year. We have a lot on our plate, but we've also accomplished a lot in the last several years. And I wanted to just really focus on moving forward for my part of the presentation. So our membership, you come from all corners of our nation, representing many different ways, the many different disciplines that we ride horses here in the United States. You bring your own experiences to our organization, and whether you come from a dressage background, Western, hunters, jumpers, or any one of the varied disciplines that we practice here in the United States, you're all welcome. Whether you're a seasoned professional or you're just new to horses in general, you are welcome here at USAWE. We all understand that this is a very unique discipline, and each one of us is going to need to make adjustments in our training programs in order to meet the requirements for this discipline. But boy, we all share one thing in common, and that is our amazing animals, the horses. So your board of directors this year, we are working really hard to provide a solid framework for this organization to work on. We want to build our sport and grow our membership so that everybody can enjoy this wonderful discipline. I'll be working in my job as president-elect to learn the president's job, which is a pretty big ask. And also I wrangle the committee chairs and try to increase the communication lines for those committee chairs and make sure that we're able to all attend to the needs of our membership the way that we should. We want to give our members the best possible working equitation experience. Thank you.
Okie doke. My name is Amy Perryman. I'm on the East Coast, so good morning or good afternoon if you're over here with me. I'm your secretary for the 2025 and 2026 term. Secretary serves a 2-year term and is elected. That person is in charge of record keeping and is a custodian for corporate records. I guess that's kind of redundant, isn't it? Which is important in record keeping. We're in charge of communications and organizing information. I was appointed at the end of 2023 when our previous secretary was unable to complete the whole term. And as I mentioned that, I want to give a big shout out to and thanks to Chris Blacklock for staying on as clerical assistant in 2024 to help and teach me the job of secretary. She brought a much needed structure to this organization. And it is my goal in 2025 to continue and build on that and bring it to the next level with technology and systems implementation. Starting with our Google Workspaces accounts and our newly acquired CMS database. It is a members only back end, and I'm really excited about putting that together and bringing that tool to our membership. And I want to encourage all of you listening to consider helping grow USA We in the vein that our president presented. We're here to grow and to share the sport of working equitation. I'm super excited for 2025. It is our 5th year in business. And while I have this captive audience, I would like to encourage everyone to consider how they may be able to volunteer. Many hands make light work. Specifically, we're looking for some help in the IT department. If you have experience with database configuration or Google Workspaces, I'd like to hear from you. So I'm watching my email right now for all of you volunteers that want to jump in here and help us with the geek stuff. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I am Lisa Nero, your USA We Treasurer. I was appointed to the position in June of 2023. I'm pleased to say that, excuse me, first of all, we have accomplished a lot in 2024, but first I'd like to mention that both Kathy Orr and Chris Blacklock, they were vital last year in terms of being treasurer assistants and helping with invoicing and coordination. So Kathy Orr is still with us, still working with her on invoicing. Chris Blacklock has stepped down, but they were both instrumental last year in 2024. So thank you very much for your volunteer service. Basically, 2024 was really good because that was our first year that we had a budget created in QuickBooks. And therefore, at the end of the year, we were able to compare our actuals of what income we came in and expenses that went out to what we budgeted. We did very well. We had a net income of a little over $38,000, not only due to additional income coming in for memberships and events and programs, but also due to less expenses being paid in 2024. We also transitioned from US Bank to JP Morgan Chase and have opened CDs to earn interest on our emergency and general funds. A big thing is we created or implemented the Find You software. And that is a new customer management system that assist with managing our membership. And Kate can talk about that later. But also, as you may have seen, we are invoicing through Find You, which links directly to QuickBooks. So what we are doing for 2025 is to we have created and approved a 2025 budget again. We are going to be reviewing financial reports on a quarterly basis to see how we are doing. And we are going to continue to work with the Find You software to improve our services to our members. In closing, I'm wishing you all a wonderful USA We 2025 year. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, folks. Amy Starr was unable to make it today and asked me to present a little bit for her at her director slide position. For those who don't know Amy Starr, she is a longtime competitor and a Lusitano breeder in Arizona. She has taken many initiatives on the board over the years, but is currently at-large director and is involved in the educational task force. She was the spearhead to the recent cattle trial educational presentation we've developed and started putting out because she saw the need for increased education among all members of USAWE in terms of the expectations of the cattle trial, helping it become as successful as possible. She understands how tricky that trial is and wanting to see it grow and gain exposure in a positive way. We had decided to work on a presentation for it before the educational task force became available to try. So she was a big part in helping get that pushed off and is also now on the educational task force. I don't have much more to speak of for her, but that can slide us over to the director at large too, which is myself, Holly Linz. I am a longtime competitor and member of Region 6. I own a training and boarding business in Maryland. I am in Maryland and have worked on many committees in the East Coast, bringing horse shows to people and representing membership to horse show committees. I speak as a bridge to gap the lines of communication and representation between membership, the board of directors, and the committees. I also have a lot of experience in developing demonstrations and large educational events. And I'm hoping as director at large, I can increase awareness of these kinds of opportunities and help people put on events in their areas, get them lined up with people, help them put on quality material, quality events in effort to help increase the reach of Working Equitation in my region or my zone, I should say, focusing more in terms of zone for the at-large position. I also plan to help members connect to AOs in their areas so AOs can grow. We understand the value of the AOs in helping people find a place in this sport. People find the sport, they're attracted to the sport, and that lends them naturally to the what's next question. And in my opinion, it's finding other people to do these things with so they're not alone, so they can grow, so they can do the things they would like to do and learn about the sport in the right way. Having said that, I'm also focusing on helping AOs learn how to develop and cultivate the kinds of events that will best service their membership. I think it's very important that AOs gauge the membership they have and bring about events, shows, clinics, educational opportunities that are relevant to their members and where their members are at. So if it's time for them to do shows, great. If they don't have enough members yet to support a show, maybe not yet. Here's the members and the AOs around you that can help you, support you, do those things. I am part of Working Equitation East, and one of our initiatives in Working Equitation East is helping educate show managers and staff to where they can run shows successfully and they can represent the sport successfully. That's what I have.
Thank you, Holly. I think I am going to speak to this unless you would like to, Lisa or Amy, but we have two people who are pretty tireless right now working on our organization. Kathy Orr, who was mentioned as being so helpful last year, and also Emily Osborne. Kathy Orr is our treasurer's assistant now, and she's been instrumental at really trying to connect all of our invoicing and clinics and whatever it is that we're doing and for membership. And she's doing an incredible job. And Emily Osborne dove into the hardest job, I think, in this organization at all, because she's our volunteer coordinator. And she has to figure out what we all do and figure out how to sell it to the membership to help us get volunteers to help us.
I think her name tag needs to be Chief Cat Herder.
There you go. But thanks to both of them. And we wanted to make sure everyone knew who they were and how grateful we were. Regional directors. We actually have 7 regional directors, and they're all really pretty fabulous. And we have a new one in here too, who will be able to speak as well, I believe. But everyone, I think, knows their region. If you don't know your regional director, you should get to know them. You should figure out how to contact them, and you should make use of them and let them know of your the things you like, the things you don't like, and anything interesting whatsoever to bring to the organization. And so unfortunately, Sarah McKenzie, who is the regional director for Region 1, can't be with us today because I can't remember where she is, but I'm also in Region 1. So I said that I would present her information. Region 1 is a pretty, I don't know if you saw in the membership chart that I showed before, but Region 1 is quite a large region. With 307 members competing from all the way up the levels, L1 to L7. We got it all in Region 1. And we also have, you'll see later on in the competition slides, it's probably the highest show availability region that there is. We have 13 affiliate organizations as well, and 3 professional instructors. And we also have 3 judges and 7 technical delegates. And it's a really active region. And I'm just gonna throw a big thank you out there to, I'm just gonna say Julie Alonso really helped build this region, and she's been fabulous. And Sarah McKenzie is a terrific director. If you don't know her, you haven't talked to her, find her, and again, give her your thoughts regarding the organization. And thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Glenna Hoekstra. I am honored to be the Region 2 Director. I live in Valley Center, California. We call that LoCal. SoCal is reserved for Los Angeles. We're LoCal down near San Diego. Region 2 is a really diverse and exciting region to be a part of. We have a really robust show season shaping up, including we have the Region 2 Championship Show will be held in Temecula, California. And that show has also been submitted to WAWI as a qualifier show for the international team. So we're hoping to hear back from them soon. And that'll be a really exciting time for our top level riders. But the Wine Country Classic and Regional Championship Show will also be a terrific opportunity for all of our riders, and we have a lot of them. So take a look at our Facebook page. I try to keep it fairly well updated. Also, contact me anytime if you are a competitor looking for something to do, if you are an auditor looking for something to watch, if you are a professional instructor, please let me know and let me help you promote your events. Just contact me anytime. Anything I can do to help grow this wonderful sport is my goal for this year. If you have not yet signed up for the Cattle Trial Educational Series that Holly mentioned, I highly recommend it. It's a really interesting. If you like chasing cows, this is for you. So we really hope everyone will get excited about this trial, and this is a good way to learn about it. We have a whole lot more coming up. My goal is for our areas that don't currently have shows or clinics or expos to get them on the map. So if you're in Utah, give me a call. If you're in Nevada, give me a call. Let's get something going across our entire region, because as Robin mentioned earlier, working equitation really is a sport for all equestrians. And I think it's great that we can welcome everyone. And I look forward to meeting all of you that I haven't already met at a show or a clinic or an expo down the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have Cindy?
It looks like Cindy has dropped off as a panelist, so we may need to circle back.
Okay, well, I'm just in case we forget to circle back. Cindy Harris just joined the board as Region 3 Director, and hopefully when she gets back on, she can say a few words, but we're really thrilled to have her because we lost Chris Stanko, and so we're eager for her to join and get to work.
Yep. Hi, I think that's my cue. So my name is Kiki Pantez, and I've been the Region 4 Director for a few years now. And I wanted to add something about Cindy, if she doesn't come back, is she's very active in the Kansas group, and she's also active in the Western dressage as well. So she has a lot of experience. So anyway, on to Region 4. So I'm excited to say, I know we just saw our numbers and I was like, oh my goodness, attrition. Ugh, I hate that word, but we are expanding into some newer areas in Region 4. And so the New Mexico group is really active in doing clinics, and they're closer to Arizona. So I know that they're working really hard with Amy Starr and the Arizona group to having schooling shows and clinics, and hopefully a license show last year as well. So I'm hopeful that we can get people to head to New Mexico from Texas and Oklahoma to the Region 4, to New Mexico. It'll be great. And then Oklahoma has Michelle and Seth Marshall, and they're actively putting clinics on and travel. I don't know what their plans are for 2025, if they're going to be able to host the show in Oklahoma, but they're able to travel and really advocating and a lot of outreach in their area. And then Texas has grown to some new areas. We've always been pretty strong in the central area and Houston. The Houston area has sort of dropped off, but people are really active. That they're doing clinics down there again too. So hopefully we'll start picking up numbers. And there's a lady in down in the San Antonio area that's been doing a lot of clinics, and I'm hopeful that we can talk her into putting on some shows. And then Central Texas is doing its thing, and then up in the Fort Worth area doing clinics and shows as well. So we also have somebody in Louisiana that is associated with Holly Hill, I think it is, which is an eventing facility, if I have the name right. And that facility is eager to do a clinic and maybe a show. So I'm trying to work with her on that. So we're hosting a joint Region 3 and Region 4 regionals in Fort Worth over November 7th through the 9th. I think I put 6th and 8th on the slide, but so anyway, we'll say 6th and 9th right now. And yeah, so if anybody has any questions, please reach out. I'm always available. I'm on Facebook, and I'm happy to talk to everybody. So thank you.
Thank you, Kiki.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Sarah Barnwell. I am the Region 5 Director, and I am in Michigan. This year will be my 6th year competing in working equitation, and obviously I love the sport and love all the people that I work with on the board and throughout Region 5. So there are so many exciting things happening in Region 5, and so much that has happened even in the last few days that I didn't want to put them all on my slide, so I'm just going to talk about them. I only have time to really highlight a few things. So most importantly, please follow us on Facebook and please reach out to me with things that you want to talk about or things you have going on that you want me to promote. We are getting our 2025 show schedule finalized. We will have many of the same shows this year that we had last year. And an important tidbit, please register early. We had many shows last year that sold out early. So that is important. And on that note, we want to try to have more shows, and a lot of the efforts that are happening are leading to that. Big shout out to Minnesota. Last year, they had their first licensed shows and expect to have more this year. We have some great folks across the region who are really working to grow the sport, to follow the same theme that we've been having about growth and collaboration. We have our team in Iowa has a huge calendar of events, clinics and schooling shows, and hopefully we'll be able to get some licensed shows in that area in the future. We also have additional groups in Ohio and Michigan who are hosting clinics and schooling shows this year, and also hope to in the future have licensed shows. And I think this is really going to help everybody, because one of the things I hear more than anything else is we need more shows and more show opportunities. And this is going to really help. So on that note, I really want to encourage everybody to get involved and especially try to help with some of these new events. We always have volunteer opportunities at these events. And when there's schooling shows, it's a great opportunity to, try something new, refine your skills, try a new level, introduce a new horse. And by supporting those events, it gives those organizers more opportunities to hopefully have licensed shows in those areas. So we have a great crew in Region 5, and if everyone keeps showing up and making these events successful, the growth should continue. And I think that is all that I have, so thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
And then I'm also talking for my pal, Sarah Olson, who's our Region 6 director today. She unfortunately cannot be here. Sarah Olson is in Maryland, and she has been competing for quite a few years in working equitation. She wanted to share that she is moving up to level 4 this year with her horse, Joe, who is the one in the picture there on the left for sure. And then she's also looking to introduce a new horse to we this year. So she has some great goals for Region 6. Region 6 is also a very active region right next to us in Region 5, and she's working to focus on member engagement. I think we've got a theme going here. So she's looking to get input directly from membership on what they want to see, work with the AOs to create those opportunities, including more unmounted opportunities, virtually and in person. They're also holding in Region 6 quarterly meetings with the AOs to try to coordinate their show season to make sure that members don't need to choose between events. There's some really exciting opportunities and events coming up this year in Region 6, starting with the Train to Win Clinic in March at Oak Spring Equestrian. That's also in Maryland, and it is pretty conveniently located for folks in Region 6 and outside of Region 6. So I'd encourage everyone to check that out. There's still audit opportunities for that. And you can find all of the Region 6 events for 2025 on the Oak Spring calendar. Please reach out to Sarah with any questions, comments, feedback, or if you have accomplishments that you want to share. And thank you very much.
Thank you, fill in, Sarah.
And so that's my prompt. Hello, everyone. I am Pat Melton. I live in Greater Gastonia, which is between Charlotte and Tryon in the foothills of our great state of North Carolina. So it's great to meet everyone. To say that I'm immensely proud of what our Region 7 members accomplished in 2024 is an understatement. I moved into the regional director position in late 2023, and my first wish was that working equitation would explode in this region. And thanks to many of you, the fuse has been lit. Here's just a quick recap of our 2024 events. thanks to the brilliance of the Working Equitation East team that Holly alluded to earlier, the 2024 Eastern Zone Championship Show was held at Three Bulls Farm in Bulls Gap, Tennessee this past fall and early October. 37 competitors from over a dozen states in regions 5, 6, and 7 participated. Unfortunately, due to the devastation of Hurricane Helene the night before that the region had the week before, a handful of teams were unfortunately able to make the trip. As you all are probably aware, or many of the roads in western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, bridges, etc., were wiped out because of the remnants of the hurricane. But the welfare of our neighbors that had incurred damage, they were definitely on the minds of everyone at the championship show. And attendees brought, you just wouldn't understand, they brought so much in donated items: pet food, non-perishable foods, bottled water, batteries, baby formula, diapers. I mean, you name it, they brought it. And in addition to this huge mountain of items that were donated to be used by our folks that were less fortunate, we collected over $2,200 as a result of our silent auction. So it was an amazing weekend, not only for Working Equitation, but for helping your neighbor and that sort of thing. This past year, Region 7 hosted 5 USAWE licensed shows, which was, the most we've ever done. Again, and we had in May, the Three Bulls Classic, again in Tennessee. In June, my group, Working Equitation of North Carolina, we hosted our 2nd Summer Solstice Show. Our friends down in Georgia at Wild at Heart Ranch, they were very ambitious, and they held 2 one-day shows back to back in August. And then, of course, there was the Working Equitation show at Three Bulls that was held in conjunction with the championship show. There were multiple schooling shows in 2024, many of them in new locations, and we hope to hang on to those new locations and keep adding more. We had international writers, clinicians, competitors come. Alberto Conte and Rolf Jansen are just a couple. We are blessed in our region that we have a talented pool of judges and clinicians. And I have a few of their names down here, but I know I'm missing people, and I apologize for that. But just looking at what I know they did this past year, they stayed very busy, which is wonderful because they are terrific ambassadors for the sport that we all love. There were individuals, there were groups, there were barns, just, AOs that had all kinds of practice days. And then there were even a few of us that helped with non-mounted registrations to various groups, especially focusing on our youth through the U.S. Pony Club and our 4-H groups, just to spread the joy of Working Equitation. I'm thrilled to say that 2024 looks equally, if not more busy. I will continue to include our regional calendar in the newsletter posting each month. And if there's any time I can ever assist in the planning or coordination events, please don't hesitate to contact me. And I'm happy to help advertise for you, especially on our regional Facebook page, plus get the word out to area groups so that they too can put out the word. Make sure you are following our Region 7 Facebook page, because that's where you're going to find a lot of the event information. And I'll just reiterate what all of my distinguished friends have said. I really would love to expand our participation within the region. We have little groups scattered here and there, so I would be thrilled if we could get a few more affiliate organizations put together. If you're in the area and you're not showing, volunteer. You're going to learn so much by being a volunteer, and it also gives you a terrific different aspect and outlook on everything. And we would love to see new groups putting together new events. Thank you all so very much.
Pat Melton, you show off you. There you go. That was just amazing. Thank you so much. Lisa Nero, are you interested in, before we dive into the committees, are you interested in giving just a slight budget recap for the committees for this year?
Yes, what we have done, and thanks to the hard work of the committees, we created an Excel spreadsheet based on the committee and their functions. And the committees have gone in and delineated the potential income they might bring in and their proposed expenses. We started this in 2023, late 2023, incorporated it into our 2024 budget. And I think that we've improved upon that process. And the template that was revised and sent out to the committee chairs for our 2025 budget helped immensely. I want to thank the committee chairs for taking the time to complete these. They were vital to creating our 2025 budget. And what we're finding is that some committees are very simple. Elections, we know what that amount is going to be every year. It's only one time a year. But there are other committees who put on programs and events that are a little bit more complicated, such as our licensed officials events and educational seminars and our international committee camps. Those are a little bit more complex. So in addition to giving us those numbers, we've also asked those chairs to delineate in their budget exactly what their plans are when they're having these events. And then if they need any assistance, we can help them with projecting the income they might bring in as well as what they intend to spend. So those have been instrumental in creating the approved 2025 budget. We're excited to continue that process because it is more work for the committee chairs, but it helps us as an organization to meet our financial goals at the beginning and the end of every single year. So I know the committees have a lot of work on their plate. They do a lot of wonderful things, but I also want to thank them for doing these budgets because it helps the organization immensely in tracking our finances and where we're moving to. Big part of our strategic plan at the end. So here again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa. So we're going to move into our committee presentations, and we have everybody represented here, and we'll just get rolling.
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Stephanie Dobus, and I am the affiliate organizations chair. And I started back in November of 2024. And moving forward on to this new year, basically, I'm going to be responsible for bringing on the new AOs. So anyone who's interested in creating an AO in your region, you'll kind of come through me and we'll get you all set up and give you lots of support. And there's lots of resources and things for folks that's just getting started with all this. I am also, of course, the contact person for all of the AOs in the USAWE organization. So any questions or comments or anything, you can reach me at the affiliateorganizations.usawe.org, I believe is my email. But I am listed on the website as well, so you can find me there. So one of the benefits that we have for our affiliate organizations are the quarterly networking hours. And these happen the fourth Monday in January, April, July, and October. And it's basically an opportunity to bring all the AO leaders together and kind of build a community. We share ideas, build encouragement. Yeah, sharing ideas is always an interesting thing. We always come up with some new things to try out and put on our radar for upcoming things going on in the regions. What we did in 2024 as part of the AO Program Revisions Committee. And we did a lot of brainstorming. We drafted kind of the revision, some changes and all positive things that we wanted to bring forward to the AO program. And this year, then we're going to get that committee going here again, hopefully in February, if not in March, and finalize those program revisions that we have been discussing. We also want to be reviewing all of our resources and things that we have on the website, and just make things a little bit easier for folks to join and become an AO. There are, like I said, lots of resources on the website that people can look at, and we're planning to finalize, hopefully, the revisions by midsummer so that we can get the information out to all of the AOs in plenty of time so that everybody knows what's going on with the changes. So we hope to that program will be finalized and ready to roll out in 2026. And so yeah, we also are going to be doing some continuing brainstorming and focus on all of the benefits that AOs receive being an AO of our that's all I have. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lynn Maloney, and I've been the chair of the awards committee for about a year now. The goals of this committee are listed there on the slide, and I'm not going to bore you with reading them, but I would like to give you a little look behind the curtain so you understand why there's a little bit of a lag sometimes between when you go to a show and when you see the results on the leaderboard or when your lifetime medal arrives, etc. There's an awful lot of work that goes into keeping track of the scores and getting everything organized and presented to the members. So first, I want to go into a little bit about how the leaderboard is built. You go to a show and you get your score, and the scores are entered into JIRA for a vast majority of the shows, and they have to be verified by either the judge or the TD before they can be submitted to Julie. The competition organizers will send those scores on to Julie, hopefully within a week of when the show concludes. And then Julie invoices the organizers for their licensing fee. And the organizers have to get in a report for the evaluation of the judge, evaluation of the TD, and the TD report also has to be submitted and the invoice paid before Julie is able to upload the results. Once that happens, Julie uploads the results from JIRA into our leaderboard. That is a process that sometimes will cause snags, because if members have not entered their name and their horse's name and numbers exactly as they are in the USAWE database, the system will automatically not allow the upload because it's all linked together. Don't ask me how, because I am not techie. But that Julie tells me that's a snag right there. So it's really, really important to make sure when you enter a show, use your name and your horse's name and your horse recording number, your membership number. Make sure those are correct and written as they are in our databases, and that'll streamline that process. So when everything's all done, they're uploaded, the leaderboard's automatically updated. And at this point I have to read because, again, not techie. Julie knows this, not me. Okay, so if that happens, then the leaderboard and all that is updated. Now, everything else we do comes from that data as the awards committee. Everything else is coming from that data. Pat Melton, who's a fabulous Region 7 director and even more amazing member of our awards committee, she keeps track of lifetime rider medals. She uses the data from the leaderboard to do that. And she sends out medals that are earned on a quarterly basis. And she told me that she keeps a short list of people that are close and tries to look at that about once a month. So don't panic if you believe you earned your medal and you didn't get it yet, because Pat wears a lot of hats and she agrees to put that one on once a quarter. And then Mindy Finale does the National High Point Breed Performance Awards, and she's going to talk to you about that herself in a few minutes. And then I do the year-end awards, and I use data from the leaderboard. I have to go through and gather all the winners from the leaderboard and then go on the membership list and get addresses and emails. And once I have all the numbers, I order the ribbons and patches, which I have just done for this year. And we do have a little delay there. We don't start the process till mid-January, which allows members time to verify all their scores and make sure that they agree that it's correct. And after January 15th, we have not allowed any changes to be made. That's when I started gathering the data for this year. So I order the ribbons and the patches, and I have to send out notices to the national winners so they know how to go about ordering their embroidered awards. And I expect delivery of the ribbons by, I think they told me March 6th this year. And as soon as I get them, I'll pack them all up and mail them out. And there's about 170 of them this year to be packaged and mailed. And that's a very expensive process. It was close to $1,000 last year to mail all that out. So again, please check your information. Make sure your addresses and emails are correct, because if we need to contact you so that you can get your lifetime medals or your year-end awards, regional patches, whatever it is, if we don't have the right address, we can't get it to you. And believe me, we do try, but sometimes we just hit wall after wall if that information isn't correct. So I know that our winners this year are very excited to receive their awards, and I'm going to do my best to get them out to you as soon as I can. Like I said, I expect to receive them early March. And then last but not least, we have a new award to present this year. The committee asked permission to do a century award for horses and riders whose combined ages total 100. And Pat just told me last night that she actually has several people in her region who have expressed interest in trying to get that award. And we absolutely would be thrilled to give it to them, because anyone who meets that criteria is pretty amazing. And we would be honored to recognize their achievement. And that's all I have. So thank you.
Thank you. I think we're looking for Lori.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm new to the competitions committee chair position. Fortunately, Kim is staying on to help me and offer insight, and we're kind of being co-chairs right now. So I'm just going to mostly read through the slides. And Tracy, if there's anything I forget or if there's something you want to add, please feel free to jump in at any time. This first slide was done by Julie Alonso. It shows our competition growth throughout the years. As of February 3rd, we already have 99 competitions licensed for this year. And this is, I believe, our first year that each region will have either a regional or multi-regional show. Our income so far for the show licensing fee have been a little over $9,000. Excuse me. Can we do the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
This chart shows our competitions for the past 4 years. The number of licensed shows, the total number of entries, and then a breakdown between amateur, open, and youth. Our youth numbers between 2023 and 2024 decreased slightly, but again, we don't know if they've simply grown up another year and now they're in the amateur open. Our number of reported horses continues to go up, and our number of members has gone up between last year and this year. Next slide. Oh, we have 4 now. So we've got the number of riders competing per level. we're finding an increase in the number of riders for each level as they level up throughout the year. The number of horses, again, for levels are increasing. We have some higher level riders that are riding multiple horses, which helps with the numbers as well. The next slide. Okay, so we have more than I saw. This shows a breakdown of our competitions by region. We have 7 regions, and you can see that regions 1 and region 2 and region 5 so far have had the most shows per regions. It also shows a breakdown of the number of shows for each state. Those we're hoping to grow each year as well. Right now, our largest number of shows are occurring in Oregon. And the next slide.
I think you're done.
Oh, thank God. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm just going to speak to the election slide. We do need a chairperson for this committee. We just wanted to really thank Biddy Lowry for doing a fabulous job. And we're hoping maybe she'll reconsider and come back and do it again, just in case she's listening. But this is a partial year position. If you're interested in helping us out, elections are important. This really could be you on this committee. So if anyone is interested, please let us know. And thank you again, Biddy, for all that you've done so far. And Dan, I think you're up.
Is he frozen?
I think
Good morning or
go.
afternoon to everyone. Yep, my name is Dan Dolke. I am. Everything okay?
Yes, sorry.
All right. That's okay. All right. Basic, as you see in this slide here, we have 5 members currently, but we represent 4 of the 7 regions. The next slide just provides a quick overview of the process that
we are losing.
You may have to stop your
but the
video.
key things I really want to take away from this here, that once we, I'm sorry?
Dan, why don't you stop your video? Yeah, and see, because we're losing our audio. That's all. Thank you. I think we're going to have to move on.
All right, I live on it to be. Yeah.
We're not getting any of your audio, Dan.
Nothing from audio?
Not really. Is there anyone else available who's on the ethics committee?
Glenna.
Glenna, are you still available? Can you fill in here?
I am, and I sure would be happy to. Sorry, Dan, about your technical difficulties. I know sometimes rural internet can be a question mark. The Ethics Committee was formed to handle alleged infractions within our social media policy, our code of conduct. This is for all of our officers, directors, our code of ethics for professional instructors and licensed officials, and all of our members as well. If you haven't checked out these various codes, they are all on our website, and I encourage all the members to just become familiar with them and have a look. We are doing this to be a professional organization and to make sure that we maintain what we need to maintain for our nonprofit status. So the flow, if there is a complaint, is the committee receives the complaint. They then meet to discuss the merit of that complaint, and they take a vote on whether or not they believe that it has merit. Then both parties, the complainer and the complainee, are notified, and an investigation begins. That investigation is handled by the Ethics Committee, reaching out to witnesses, gathering information, quite a bit of of work is done at this point. Then a summary of the findings are completed, both parties are informed, and then either party can appeal if they choose to do so. I'm not sure if there's another slide, but let's see. Oh, there we go. All of the documents are located on our website, on the usawe.org website. You'll see under corporate and then ethics form for a complaint or appeals form. If you have any questions, please reach out to Dan at ethics@usawe.org. He is extremely knowledgeable about this process. He's been a terrific chair of this particular committee and will be happy to help you in any way with any questions you have. You can also file a complaint or a confidential question if that's more if that's what you would rather do at usaweethicscomplaint@gmail.com. And that is probably also on the website. So hopefully we don't have a whole lot of activity in this particular committee. We choose to hopefully not, but if we are needed, we're there and available to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenna. Thanks, Dan. So sorry.
This is Tamala Nichols. I stepped into the role of Financial Oversight Committee Chair the beginning of 2024. Basically, what we do is do a quarterly audit just to keep an oversight on what's going on with the finances and to support the treasurer. What we did this year is we established a committee, and you can see the names there. We have successfully completed the 4 audits for 2024. And my one compliment is that USAWE is incredibly lucky to have a fabulous treasurer in Lisa. Most organizations would just love to have somebody as competent as she is. So you're very lucky. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Miss Mindy.
Yes, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, good. I'm Mindy Finelli. I'm really sorry that my video isn't on, but for some reason, once in a while with Zoom, my Zoom doesn't recognize my camera. Not sure. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll go with doesn't for today. Anyway, I've been the horse recording chair going on probably three years now, I guess. And as the slide states here, we've got almost 4,000 recorded horses with our group. And that we wound up with about 356 horses that were recorded for 2024. And as your breakdown is here, I always like to look through it and see what breed is most listed there. And of course, the good old American quarter horse is our top horse, 484, and then quickly followed by grade horses. But it's always real interesting to see how that comes out. And then I have down below, though the chart is kind of tiny. I'm not sure if you can see the numbers really well, but it lists how many recordings we get on average throughout the year. So you can see that like in membership, you're going to see a whole lot in the beginning of the year. But with horse recordings, it's pretty even, gets a little heavier during the beginning of show season. But most of the time it's kind of steadily, we get a few a day here and there. So my job is purely to, as people submit recordings, I process them now. We used to do it through Google Docs, but now we're using the new Find You. And I have to say the process has made it considerably easier for us that put the file. Kate's nodding her head. Yes, absolutely. To put the files in, much less copying and pasting and stuff. The only concern I ever have, and if the members can spread this around, is very often with horse recordings, people forget to put down the horse's birth date or year. I mean, I need just a year. And if you don't know because you've got a grade horse or it's unpapered or whatever, give me an estimate. I'm sure your vets have given you an idea of how old your horse is, in that area by looking at them. Because it is the birth year that is what we use for our recording process. So you'll notice that your horse's first 4 numbers are the actual horse's birth year. So if we could get that spread around, it's great. If you don't, I have to do a bunch of back road searching to try and find you or your horse's information. It's I actually love it because I absolutely love to see the different names of horses and the different breeds that I have never heard of. It's just really cool. So I guess that's about it. I thank you all for listening.
Thank you. So Barbara Price is the chair of the International Committee, and she couldn't be here today. And because I'm on that committee, I agreed to present her slide as well. The International Committee has, it's really focusing on riders who compete at the advanced and masters level. And these are the folks who are really trying to prepare for international competition. And they have been called the USAWE high performance riders. So if you hear that term, they're the people riding in L6, L7 levels. The committee had 3 new members join in January. Sarah McKenzie, Region 1 Director, Don Metzger, Region 4 member, and Laura Cobran, who is a Region 7 member. And we've already met, and it looks to be a fabulous team, frankly. We are facilitating 3 Huawei qualifier shows this year, and these are shows anyone who wants to vie for the international team has to have a qualifying score at one of the Huawei specifically designed, I would say, qualifier shows. We had 4 applications, and the International Committee and the Board of Directors reviewed them. 3 of them have been submitted to Huawei, and we will announce them as soon as we know exactly if they've been accepted or not. And if they don't like those 3, we have the 4th in the background that we can always submit as well. We are also going to put on, or we are not, but some of you are, 2 international shows, and the international shows are also done according to Huawei rules, and the folks who get scores from these international shows, they actually get onto Huawei's world ranking. And I believe we have 2 members right now on the world ranking list. And so we're pretty impressed with that. What else? So we've rescheduled the Train to Win 3 clinic, which Sarah Barnwell mentioned earlier. It's in Woodbine, Maryland. There's still room to audit, and it is next month, and it should be pretty fabulous with, you know, 2-time world champion Gilberto Felipe at the Oak Spring Equestrian Facility. We've also kicked off a coaching pairs program within the international high performance riders to find out what their specialties are and how they can help each other in some way, shape, or form. So it's really creating a team environment, and looks pretty exciting. And we're looking at high performance rider training camps, electronic training opportunities, and a whole lot of other, you know, potential. I can see that there will inevitably be overlap with the educational task force. And if that ever becomes a committee, it should be a pretty interesting growth pattern for USAWE to have all these educational opportunities. And moving on.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leslie Martine. Neither of our co-chairs for the Licensed Officials Committee were able to be here today, so I'm filling in. I'm lucky to be part of what I consider to be one of the most amazing committees this organization has. We are responsible for the licensing and education of our licensed officials and our licensed officials candidates. We currently have 56 licensed officials, and about half of those are technical delegates. We have probably close to that many in the pipeline that are looking to become either L judges or technical delegates. We just recently added a new member, Deb Quillinan. She's a technical delegate and is helping with a lot of the nitty-gritty data analysis and data entry and that sort of thing. We recently had Jean Bond, who was a longtime member of this committee, retire. We miss her, but I'm really glad that she's had an opportunity to do some fun things and ride her horses. This committee just stays incredibly busy. We are continually trying to improve our licensing process, our educational process. Last year, one of the things that we did was to start what we call tag up meetings. And they have an agenda, but they are kind of a place for our licensed officials to come on in and have an open-ended discussion about situations that they run into, difficulties that they have. Our upper level judges, our SNRR judges, can provide teaching opportunities for our lower level judges. We do 10 of those a year. We also do 3 of them for technical delegates. We call them tag up meetings. Last year, in 2024, we had 3 different shows and situations with WOWI judges, 3 different WOWI judges that came in and provided an opportunity for our judges to do a judge advancement. We are still working on analyzing the data. Like Tracy Irway, I really enjoy data analysis, but it takes hours and hours and hours and hours. I had many days where I spent 8 hours sitting in my computer chair, putting in data entry and doing analysis. But what it does is it gives us an opportunity to compare our judge candidates or advancement candidates scores with that of the WOWI judge and our upper level judges. And I have to tell you, as somebody who is a nerd and really enjoys doing that, I was absolutely blown away by how close so many of our candidates' scores were to each other and to our upper level and our WOWI judges. So I think we're doing something right, given the fact that we've got that data that shows how close they are. We started off this year with a bang. We had a seminar in Los Angeles that was heavily attended. I think we had close to 50 or 60 attendees. We had Claudia Matos from WOWI that came in and did a 3-day seminar. It was open to our professional instructors, our judge candidates. We had members. We even had one kiddo, 11-year-old kiddo, that sat for all 3 days and listened to the lecture. It was a fantastic opportunity for people to get to know each other, to ask questions. We had our judges were on the hot seat. They all had to watch some videos and hold up their scorecards, and a lot of them were under the gun, but they did really, really well. So I don't have a lot more to add. I could go on and on about this committee. I feel very privileged to be part of it, but I'm so glad that with the 5 of us that we're able to do and accomplish as much as we are. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So the LOC may be an amazing committee, but marketing is the most fun. I'm partial. Marketing and promotions is responsible for external communications for the entire organization. As the organization expands, the committee may be divided into subcommittees for advertising and promotion, branding, communication, sponsorship, trade shows, or other areas as needed. I kind of separate this into like 3 buckets. So we have communications, and some of those tools that we use are our newsletter and our social media and that sort of thing. And I want to do a shout out right now for Audrey Rapp, who is our newsletter editor, and she has done a fantastic job this last year, just taking us to the next level. And we would love to get her an assistant so that we could grow and expand that and use some of her talent and ability and time in some other areas. Another bucket is kind of our sales or brand recognition. And that is, this year, our focus is creating a media kit, tapping into some of our other talent on the marketing committee, Morgan Osbaldiston for one, who's been helping us today on the back end of this webinar, so that we can start to seek out corporate sponsorships. And then thirdly, the last bucket are alliances and partnerships. And I use the term evangelize. This is, going to share Working Equitation with all the other communities out there that just haven't heard about us yet. We want to partner with affiliates, members that go to expos, that put on booths. We want to be able to provide them with print and online resources. And those are all things that are in the works. Content is king. The need for content creators is great. We need writers, we need photographers, we'd love to partner with show managers this year. So I'm waiting for my email box to fill up right now for all of you guys to raise your hand and say, we want to help. We want to be a part of the excitement and the sharing. If you have information you want and content you want us to share, we need that. And then we need help getting it pushed out. So I do want to give another big shout out to our volunteer coordinator, because she is, probably the first avenue of being able to bring in people to help us organize and put people in committees. But marketing is a big one. And the more that we want to do for this organization, the more hands we need over here, skilled and otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you. Sue Watkins.
Thank you, Tracy. Hello, I'm Sue Watkins, Southern California, and I'm the co-chair of the Professional Development Committee, along with Seth Marshall, who is located in Oklahoma. The ProDev Committee, whose heart and soul is the education of the entire membership, was very busy in 2024 and looks forward to an even bigger year in 25. Last year saw the creation of the Professional Instructor Program. To get this program up and running, the committee had an overwhelming amount of foundation work, which took great forethought and foresight to ensure it could grow exponentially in the years to come. With that, we created an extensive application process, which included many levels of education requirements, codes of conduct, competition results, plus all the necessary Google Forms and spreadsheets to document all that information, with the critical focus of providing a solid foundation of quality education for our membership in the years to come. We also created the first series of professional instructor educational Zoom presentations. We created 4 Zoom presentations last year, and this year we will be increasing it to 10 presentations. We also collaborated with the Licensed Officials Committee and the International Committee to create educational opportunities for our professional instructors to attend their events and receive educational credits there also. Since building this program, we have managed not only the 19 recognized professional instructors grandfathered in, but we've also had 4 new instructors complete their qualifications. And amazingly, we have had 35 more professional member candidates who are currently working on their PI qualifications. That is 1 new PI candidate per week since the program's inception. We hope to have over 50 recognized professional instructors by the end of the year who are able to help you learn this sport all around the country. Needless to say, we have been very busy. At the top of our list for 2025, we are looking to expand the educational opportunities for both the professional instructors and the members they serve. By creating training level designations for our instructors, improving our resource library, improving our communications with the general membership, advancing our support of the youth membership, expanding our committee with a few more specialized committee members, and improving the overall quality of working equitation instruction in the USA. Please go to the website and reach out to our PIs. They are here with the single mission of instructing you, the general membership, in the proper education of working equitation. And we, as the Professional Development Committee, are here to serve you, the membership, and hope you reach out to us anytime with your questions or interest in our programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm also filling in for our new chair, Amy Starr, on the Rules Committee. Jean Bond retired after many years of serving on this committee. I, Barbara Price, and Glenna Hoekstra are also members of this committee. We don't do a lot throughout the year, although sometimes there are questions that come in or corrections that need to be noted. Our work usually starts on September 1, and the next 3 months tend to be very, very busy for us. Everybody needs to read the rule book, obviously. I would say that the one rule change, the dramatic rule change this year, and it was mentioned briefly earlier, has to do with the fact that we are eliminating many of the opportunities for level 1 riders to disqualify. We're doing that with the hopes that we can retain more riders, make the sport a little friendlier for them. There is a place on the website for you to submit a rule change if you have questions or concerns, or there's something that you feel needs to change. By all means, our team works diligently during those 3 months and looks at advantages, reasons for making rule changes, makes sure that the rule book is in good shape. But I'm not going to stay on very long because I know we're running behind schedule. So feel free to reach out to the Rules Committee if you have any questions. But thank you very much.
Thank you for all that tireless work. Rules is detail, detail, detail. So
It
thank
is
you.
indeed. You bet.
Okie doke. USA We is a body of people. If the president is the head, the board of directors is the brain. The committees are our arms and legs, and the members are our heart. The website is our face, and in 2025, we're going to get a facelift. I want to thank Christine Strasburger for her work as committee chair for the website in the last 4 years. And she has done a fabulous job maintaining the site and keeping our tremendous amount of information that we have to get out to members and to the public. This year, it's our hope that we will bring to the board some ideas for redesign and to work with hand in glove marketing so that we have something that we can use for corporate sponsorships and that sort of thing. So we're looking for help in this committee. If you or someone you know is a website designer or developer, specifically has experience with WordPress, we really want to hear from you. And I'm again looking at my emails. Can't wait to talk to all of you. Speak to our volunteer coordinator and help us out. This is going to be a very exciting year for USA We. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a standard
Multitasking here. Sorry, monitoring the chat. Hello, everybody. I am Morgan Oswald-Eston. I'm a Region 7 member and one of the marketing committee members as well, but I'm presenting today on behalf of Casey Riddle, who's our youth development chair and another Region 7 member who wasn't able to join us today. But in 2024, we had a great opportunity to connect with youth through Briarfest, which is the Briar Model Horses collectible toys event that has a large youth audience, as well as through the Pony Club National Championships in July. Both of those occurred in July. And then most recently in January at the Pony Club National Convention. In 2025, the committee is going to continue to focus on two things: member recruitment, really continuing a focus on outreach and development of materials that will help educate youth about USA We, whether that's Pony Club, 4-H, other grassroots organizations. Casey and the committee would love to hear about any connections or ideas you may have. And then also a development of incentives and opportunities for our current youth members. There's a number of youth programs currently in effect for 2025. That includes educational grants. These are available for youth who are attending a working equitation event or seminar, whether they are mounted or unmounted. And there are also scholarships available. If any youth have on their year-end goals to attend championships, qualified youth can apply for the scholarships so that they can attend the regional or multi-regional championships. The applications for both the grants and these championship scholarships are available at the USAWE website. You go to usawe.org and then community and then youth, and that is where you will find those applications for both grants and scholarships. So we're looking forward to continuing this youth outreach. We know it's a big goal for the organization in 2025, and we would love to see more committee members too. So if you are available, please reach out to Casey. She'd love to have you join her.
Terrific. Thank you.
On to the Education Task Force. I'd like to start by saying it's still in its early stages, but we have it off to a great start with the cattle educational presentation that some folks have talked about. We still have several of those to put out yet, so if you haven't seen the flyer for it, please look for it. It has a little questionnaire in the sign up. To get the link, you should answer a couple questions, and this is helping us in the Educational Task Force gauge interest and gauge the matrix to whether these kinds of things are successful. It's really important that we get a little data points from you guys, from the members who want more of these initiatives or more of these opportunities. We really need to hear your feedback. We'd like to know who they're helping, why they're helping, what you would like help with, and how we can shape them for the future. We're also going to have some follow-up questionnaires coming out about how you interpreted the feedback, how you interpreted the information and your feedback on it. The Educational Task Force is staffed by an R judge, a PI, regional director, and a member. We wanted to make sure we have several different positions on the task force, different kinds of membership, different kinds of feedback. We have already several of the cattle presentations on board. We've got some ideas for stuff coming up in the future. We've got several new topics in the works. After we get through the cattle stuff, we'll start developing our next set of material to come out. But we do work with the relevant committees that there might be overlap in this information. We want to make sure we're not giving you guys something someone else already has. If it's not something you need, we also want to make sure the information is accurate and up to date and up to speed with the organization. But we really want a lot of feedback about these things. We want to hear what you guys think about them. We want to hear what you would like more of. So please feel free to reach out. You can email the R1 or the R2 emails in the organization to send in information that you would like to see come through the Education Task Force. We're also going to be working on developing the video library, some kind of video library system within USAWE so that these materials are available. If you need access to things you don't know where else to find, we're hoping the Education Task Force can help organize that information so it's easy to obtain, it's easy to access, and you don't have to go looking or asking for it. Would be ideal, that it's all in one place where you can find it. So we're very excited about this. It's still, again, in its early stages, and we're looking for feedback as we continue developing it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And I think that sends us to Q&A. So Morgan, I'm going to ask you, I haven't been able to see what's going on in the chat. We weren't actually going to open it up for live questions. And I don't know if there's any, if we've done this before, frankly, but maybe you could tell us what's going on in the chat. And we certainly do still have time. We're right, perfectly on schedule. So
I think a direct follow-up to Holly, your speaking against the Education Task Force, where can the cattle presentation participation info be found? You are muted still, Holly.
Sorry about that. I was just typing in the chat link where we can find that. We have a link to it. So if you will email one of the directors at large, we can direct you to that, and we will have a place soon, hopefully soon, on the website where we can send people to find that.
And are there any continuing education credits for the cattle trial presentation?
That has not been decided yet.
All right, I think those are all the questions for you at this moment, Holly. There was a question, will there be a process or an online training, or is there a human contact to mentor those who want to learn the GIRA system this year? And I do have a response to that. We were typing in the chat thinking we might be able to address that. So Julie Alonso is our GIRA wizard and has historically hosted through all of the training sessions. So if there is enough interest, that's something the committee will explore offering again. But if you can, please email the awards committee if you are interested so they can gauge what that interest level looks like right now. Yep, and Julie's commenting she is happy to host training sessions as well. And that email address is gira@usawe.org. Just let her know. Just some feedback to see the rules and tests directly on the website rather than a downloadable web PDF. So that's feedback for the website committee moving forward.
Morgan,
Leslie?
It's not, you can just click on them on the website and open them up and look at them. You don't have to download them in order to be able to see them.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
All right. And those are all the questions that have been in the chat during this session.
That's
Give
fabulous.
people a few extra moments, maybe just in case someone's busy typing. Some of us are faster typers than others, so I always like to just do a few moments. But Tracy, maybe if you have any additional comments while people are potentially typing, I will.
You know, the only additional comments I have is that I once again want to say how grateful I am to the people that I get to work with and how wonderful they are incredible stewards of this organization. And ever since I've been involved in this organization, people have always said, it's all about the people. It's all about the camaraderie. It's all about how fun everyone seems, how much fun they have together. And to be perfectly honest, I find that to be true as well. And it's terrific to see people working well together. It's nice to see people negotiate positions and come to solutions. And the excitement of where we're going to go in 2025, 2026 is just remarkable. So send in your comments, send in your thoughts. We appreciate you so much as members. And anything else, Morgan? I think otherwise.
No more.
I had something I needed to add that I direct messaged Tracy, but apparently you didn't get it. Lynn mentioned something about membership numbers and that kind of thing, and it reminded me that there were a couple of people, several people that had trouble with the new system, ended up making a new membership under the new system, even though they have an old membership. That's not what we want. So I have merged those together, but didn't do a great job of keeping track of who I was doing that to. So if that happened to you or somebody you know, be sure and let them know that it's under their old number and they should be writing and showing under their old membership number. I hope I'm pretty sure I fixed everybody, but I didn't necessarily notify everybody that happened. So you want to use your old membership number. I hope that all the information that was on the new membership got checked in with the old membership and everything's good there. But if that happened to you, you might want to check. And make sure that everything on there is correct, including your membership number, that it's the old one. If not, contact me at membership@usawe.org and I'll look at fixing it.
And Kate, maybe you could also put that in the newsletter so that it has a little
That's a
greater
good
reach.
point. Thank you.
Anything else before we go? Before we wait another year to do this fun thing again?
No additional comments or questions in the chat. So I think you're good, Tracy.
I want
Thank
to
you all
thank
so
all
much.
you guys for helping us put this on, especially Morgan for being available.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for presenting. And have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.